I want to share with you some of the information I learned for having an optimal pregnancy. Now, the information out there can be very overwhelming, so I'm going to share some of the information that I learned that I find important as a starting point for you, because you should be reading books and legitimate literature as much as possible, because education is power. So first, I have to add this obvious disclaimer: see a doctor before doing anything, because they'll have the custom information that's right just for you. And if you're so lucky, you'll see the doctor right away, because it wasn't really my case, and many other people's cases. A doctor doesn't even want to see you until you're at least 8 weeks. They'll ask you some screening questions on the phone to make sure you're healthy, and if that's the case, they don't want to see you. So what am I going to do up until those 8 weeks? It's still a very crucial time for a child's development. So no one told me anything about prenatal pills or anything like that. I always thought, as soon as you're pregnant, someone would be there to guide you through the process from the very beginning. I thought it's something very valued in this society, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So I went to Barnes & Noble's, I bought all these books, I went online, consulted with as much literature as possible, and some of the books that I bought had some conflicting information. So I tried my best and extracted as much information and tried to condense it down to this video as a starting point for you, because pregnancy until 5 years old is so crucial to a human development. It will last for the rest of their lives. So I'm going to break down everything that I learned by nutrition, exercise, miscellaneous information, and I'm also going to share the books that I have been reading. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to cite all my sources so you can see the facts for yourself and make sure that they're legit. I mean, I'm sure they're legit, but you should always double check. So for nutrition, you have to eat 5 small meals a day or eat every 2 to 3 hours. And women who do this tend to carry their baby to full term. Now, you don't want to stuff yourself too much, nor do you want to starve yourself. So it's really important to space them out like that. There are weight gain charts that you can use to monitor your progress as you go along in your pregnancy to make sure you're at the right weight at the right time. You're supposed to have 300 extra calories every day to get there, and I don't really count calories or nutrients for that matter. So that's why I use a tool called chronometer.com, and there are other tools that you can use. What you do is you enter your age, your weight, all this other information like gender, if you're pregnant, and they have all these targets for you, and you enter what you eat during the day, and it'll tell you how much nutrients you need, how much calories you need. And I know it's not super accurate, that's the criticism of these tools, but it's a guideline for me that's better than nothing. Any doctor that you meet will tell you that you definitely need to take your prenatal multivitamin pills, because it prevents all sorts of birth defects. It could even prevent autism. So it's really important to take it during your pregnancy and even 1 month before. I didn't know about the 1 month before, but better late than never. So anyway, I got this prenatal pills from New Chapter. This is I don't know if this is the best or anything like that, but I mean, it's a pretty legit brand. It doesn't have any artificial colors or flavors, and it has some pretty legit ingredients. So that's what I've been using. And to make sure, because the bottle tells you to take 3 a day, and I'm a very forgetful person, I don't know if I took 2 or 4. So what I ended up doing is I have a system where I put the pills in a dish like this. I already took 1 this morning, and what I do is I'll put 3 in the morning, and then by the end of the day I can see for sure that I had actually 3, not more or less. Drink 12 glasses of water every day. I know that sounds like a bit much, but it's really important to expel the toxins out of your body, and you want to keep hydrated, especially if you don't want stretch marks, because the cream alone won't do it for you, apparently. So what I did to keep track is I drink from this really big bottle every now and then to make sure that I do take my 12 glasses of water. It's really helpful, and I can't be drinking tap water even though I filter it out. So every now and then I'll have one of these in an entire day, and it helps me keep track. And I know it's not environmentally friendly, but this is a very temporary thing, so I think I can be forgiven maybe. I eat salmon twice a week, and you want to eat a fish that's high in omegas and low in mercury. And salmon seems to be the most popular choice. And you don't want to take those omega pills because they don't do the job. And there's plenty of articles that say that. I'll post the link below so you can see for yourself. Now, you want that fish with high omegas because this is what's going to boost your baby's brain power. Of course, the most obvious recommendation you'll hear is to eat fruits and plenty of vegetables. And I'm so lucky I garden. I have my kale and my lettuces that I pick, and I eat fresh salads every day. You want nutrient-dense food. You want to make your food from scratch. I know it's like a lot of work, you know, I feel like I'm a slave to my kitchen and I'm a slave to the washroom because I drink so much water. But I mean, I guess this is just the reality. And other things you can eat from scratch, for example, like almonds. I'll have like 12 almonds, for example, between meals as my snack. Or, you know, when I eat oatmeal in the mornings, you know, I don't add sugar to it. I just take it straight. And same thing with yogurt, which is low in fat and like no sugar whatsoever. I take it straight. So that leads me to my next section about like what not to eat. You don't want to have a high consumption in sugar. You want to keep it low because I mean, like, you get your sugars from fruits, of course, but you don't want to have like cakes and junk food and all that because that can lead to gestational diabetes. It's linked to obesity and all sorts of problems. Avoid caffeine. That includes, of course, coffee and those carbonated beverages you see everywhere. I read that in low doses it's okay, but if it's not positive, then why even do it? Another thing you should avoid is drugs and alcohol. I know that's really obvious to most people, but I read that 1 in 33 babies born in America have birth defects, and most of those birth defects could have been avoided because they came from the drugs and alcohol consumption. So don't even try it. Now on to exercise. Everywhere you'll read, they'll tell you during pregnancy, exercise or light exercise is highly recommended, 30 minutes a day. That includes walking or cycling. So why you want to do this is because it improves your baby's cardiovascular system, it boosts their athletic potential, it prevents the baby from being overweight, and it even boosts their IQ. They did a study with babies by age 5. They tend to score higher on IQ tests when their mothers were exercising during pregnancy. You also want to do, on top of your 30-minute exercise, something called core breath exercise. And the pelvic floor core breath exercise is the one that people tend to recommend the most, as opposed to Kegels even. Apparently Kegels are bad. This is according to this book, which I'll talk in more depth later on. So I will post a video of some other YouTube channel that tells you in detail how to do it, and it's important because apparently it will definitely give you an easier labor and recovery. When you're sleeping, you should be avoiding sleeping on your back. You should aim for sleeping on your left side. Right side's okay too, but left side is what's typically recommended. And there are pregnancy pillows that you can buy. I didn't buy them. I have a lot of cushions and pillows that I make work for me, but that's something you can also look into. And I listened to an audiobook that I bought, and it said that the whole, Mozart thing where the, women, they put headphones on their pregnant bellies so the kid can be exposed to classical music. Apparently that's nonsense. The first half of the pregnancy, the kid is not really processing the audio, so I guess the second half you can, but there was like no study about kids who had like better development because they were exposed to classical music, according to this audiobook that I listened to. If you need to use the washroom, use it right away. Don't hold it in. It will cause some serious problems down the road. Make sure you update your vaccines and your family. You want to make sure that the vaccines are, of course, safe during pregnancy, or maybe you want to wait after, but definitely your family should get their vaccines updated. Stretch mark creams are very important, but they don't work on their own. You want to keep hydrated with water and eat well. Oh, and you'll need to brush your teeth more frequently because teeth are more prone to decay during pregnancy. So I brush my teeth like 3 times a day. Maybe you want to consider one of those postpartum belts or ab wraps or whatever you want to call it. They sell them on Amazon. Apparently this is going to help your recovery, so it's something you want to buy during pregnancy so you can put it on right away after your delivery. So I can't really vouch for this because I didn't try it, but this is what people are recommending. And if you live somewhere where there's Zika going on or some other strange disease that mosquitoes are carrying, wear long sleeves like I am, you know, and pants, and wear mosquito repellent because you really don't want to cause any major problems for your babies. So it's going to be hell for me this summer, but I'll just wear as light of clothes as possible and just cut my losses. Some books I've been reading includes this one here, What to Eat When You're Pregnant, and it's written by a neuroscientist. Her name is Nicole M. Avina, and she tells you exactly what you need to be eating week by week. She tells you everything about nutrition, and she even gives you some recipes. It's a long read. I didn't read it cover to cover yet, but I'm reading as much as I can. It looks like a really good, legit book. And I'm also reading this one here. This has been very helpful for me. It's called Your Fit Pregnancy, Nutrition and Exercise Handbook by Erica Willick. I bought this at Barnes & Noble's. And I like this book because it gives you specific exercises you can do trimester by trimester. And I mean, you can look up the exercises online, but she explains the exercises to you. And it includes like recipes as well, and gives you like some information about other women's pregnancies, and it's been helpful. I like it. And this book is kind of like a general look at everything you need to know about pregnancy. It's called What to Expect When You're Expecting. It's the 5th edition. This is like the most popular book about pregnancy. It's by Heidi Murkoff and Sharon Mazel. So this has like it covers, like, again, everything you need to know about pregnancy. Like it even includes recipes, a little bit about exercise. You know, any questions you may have about pregnancy, it's answered here for you. And this other book I got from the library, actually. Believe it or not, because most books at the library were so outdated, but for some reason they had this book. It's called Teach Your Baby to Sign. It's by Monica Beyer, and you know, I read that doing a baby sign language like will help your baby communicate with you at an earlier age, so it will like decrease like the stress they may have like from not being able to communicate with you. So I find this very interesting, and I've started to just read this book now so I can prepare and memorize them all so I can start teaching the kid some of those signs. I think it's a really good book. So that's everything I have right now about pregnancy. So again, you know, this is not everything you need to know, but it's a starting point. So like again, I'd like to really recommend that you go out there and do the reading yourself.